It's not just about selling homes. It's not about getting the next sale. It's not about getting the next commission check. That is a byproduct of helping these people eliminate stress and have the best lives they can possibly have and have the dreams of their future that they want to have. And you get to be part of that journey. Welcome back to Life at 10 Tenths, where we inspire you to live at the pinnacle of your ability and purpose. I've got Matt Benelli with me again. My name is Garrett Fry, and we are excited to get rolling with you again today. Today's topic specifically came out, Matt, of watching the industry right now, watching everybody for about the past couple months going, just wait till the interest rates drop. Buyers are going to come pouring out of the marketplace. We're going to have all this business. Inventory is going to fall through the floor again. Like, here we go. And twice now, I have watched it and gone, oh, what a letdown. Like, okay, guys, like, let's stop talking about that. I said it before, stop weighing in that heavy on this moment in time that's going to come. We just had the second round of it. And everybody that I'm working with out there is like, yeah, it didn't spur a whole bunch of activity. So because I did find some business out here. I did find somebody that was like, oh, it did, but there's more to the story. And so, Matt, I'd love to kick this around with you, man. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this because we get so caught up in one thing, right? This one thing that's going to move the market. And it's like, well, that's integrated into a lot of other things. And I think when it comes to interest rates, it also shows the disconnect between understanding what is the Fed rate, how does that actually get moved, and how does that impact other things when it is moved versus when it's talked about being moved, right? Because there are some people who put out some content like, oh, the Fed moved now, what? Get ready. And there's other people like, yeah, it's already built in because we knew this was coming.
It already happened a week ago. Like,
yeah. And here's the thing, doesn't even matter for your individual business. And I do think it matters to pay attention to these things. But you kind of had written down as kind of the idea for this topic when we were discussing it before we hit the big red button there was, don't wait for the market to do something. And I was like, yeah, so many people wait for the market to serve them up opportunity when really what you should be doing is understand the market and use your current market to make the opportunities for you, which is exactly what your client did.
So I look at like different marketplaces that we go through, and the higher level of confusion, you'll watch more and more buyers, kind of pull their car over to the side of the road and go like, I'm just going to park here for a second. I want to see how things kind of shake out. I don't want to proceed on this journey any farther for the moment. Like, I just want to make sure the storm passes. And I think we've got a lot of that in our industry right now. We have a lot of people looking around going, there's a lot happening out here. And there's a lot when it comes to inflation. There's a lot that comes to cost of just daily, insurance and things like that, and expenses that are coming up on those lines. We got political stuff going out there. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but there's definitely some interesting energy around that out there. Then you start layering on all these different elements, and all of a sudden it makes people kind of step back and go like, I'm not quite sure right now. And this is where I think a lot of the realtor and the lending population kept saying, well, when these rates drop, we'll see this push. And I think there's way more going on than just that. We talked a lot about there's an affordability issue out here right now, Matt, and I do think that is an element of it.
Absolutely.
But at the same point, we're not watching it stop people from buying and selling. We're still watching a healthy rate of people buying and selling. I don't have a whole lot of realtors in my world standing around going, there's nothing going on. That's not happening. There's lots going on. I got people having the best years they've ever had in real estate. And so this then comes down to, how can we take the buyers that have pulled over to the side of the road and been like, I just want to wait a second. I just need to kind of get my thoughts together, to sit down with them and say, I can help you from where we're at right now to where you want to get to. I can show you that here's a path we can take. Here's a road we can take over here. Here's a road we can take over here. We can get you to that route. Which one feels best for you? And give them some options, open up some ideas, get them thinking a little bit. Not salesy, not like I'm going to force these guys to buy a house. Please don't do that. That will not work well for you in the long run. But if you can show them a route to take that they were not aware of. So Matt, let me share with you the route that my friend used here.
Please.
because he went down the route of saying, okay, we had this little drop in interest rates. That's one piece of it. He was also having a conversation with this builder, which I highly recommend. If you have new construction or builders in your area, go talk to them. Find out what they're offering right now. Multiple people have said the builder incentives are coming out of the woodwork right now.
Yeah, I saw a 3 handle on a rate from a builder last week.
So you combine this drop in interest rate with these builder incentives that are being put out here. And all of a sudden, this gentleman had this buyer that was like, I'm in. Let's do it. Like that makes this all work. This makes my world work. The picture works. This is that route that he could not see because the trees were all in his way. Now all of a sudden he's got a clear vision. And this is what we know. If you can give buyers a clear vision, you can give them a clear path, they will take it. They want to buy. They like to buy. Fixes problems.
Well, I think what's fascinating is we get so focused on trying to drive a sale and all this stuff and finding the right now people instead of having the conversations and creating the education, right? So, because there's layers to this. And if you have buyers around you and you're having conversations, yeah, let's talk about the options, the opportunities, and the dynamics of this incentive and those things. If you don't have the buyers around you or don't have as many buyers as you want, then it's like, how do I share the knowledge that I have to my sphere or my database so that they can just learn about the stuff that's going on, which may create a conversation. The other thing is, how do we understand what's really going on with the people who we're having these conversations with, right? Because the one thing that yes, certain products and services you can kind of get people to buy, right? You could get people to part with money, even a lot of money in some cases. Homes, really hard to do that because it is a massive purchase, which involves a time frame. People get to think about that. Wait, did Garrett just kind of force me into a contract here? I want out, right? Like there's
a lot of
ways people get out of these things. And so you can't do that if that's your intention in one, which I know that's not your intention, you listening, right? I know that's not your intention. But sometimes like, oh, but if I could just get them to this point, right? And here's the thing, if you understand what's going on, so wait, why are these people waiting for interest rates to drop? Is it a cash flow thing? Is it a monthly payment thing? Are there other dynamics at play? Is that becoming an excuse because of this other thing over here? Elections are a great example because we are heading into the 4-year, this happens every 4 years. We have a presidential election and the market, quote, slows right now. At the time of, I think this being released is mid-October, up until the day after the election, and people go, okay, now we know, so now we can get back to our normal lives, right? And when I've looked at the data before, I don't have it right on hand right now, but I've looked at it before every single presidential election, and it shows that market slows a little bit and picks right up regardless of who's elected, right? And so, okay, now is a great time to understand what's going on because a lot of people will use the election as an excuse because they have some uncertainty in your world. So if you make it your mission to have this understanding and then help with that uncertainty, which you won't be able to solve everything, but if you know what's there and it becomes clear, you can then know, hey, when that uncertainty passes, we can have the conversation. Garrett, we're just not ready to buy. We're not really sure what we want. We got a baby coming and I don't have a baby coming. I'm just using this as an example.
Congratulations.
We have a baby coming. We're not sure. It's like, okay, cool. Well, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, maybe we should wait until that baby arrives or ask some more questions about that and just focus on that conversation. Because once that uncertainty becomes clear, when they're like, yep, we're having a boy, it's going to be due in 2 weeks. Like maybe that's the time when they want to pull the trigger. But if you're paying attention to that level of uncertainty in their world, they're going to bring it up and be like, you know what? We decided we want to get in the house before this baby arrives. 2 weeks is going to be a tight timeline, but let's make it happen.
Well, so this is where it goes, Matt, to like, if the person that you're working with can't see where they're at right now and how to get to where they want to go, it's easy to come up with the interest rates right now, or we're going to wait till the baby's born, or we're going to wait till this. We can always have that. Well, we're going to wait till that moment. They just don't know how to get from here to there. I think a lot of people out there that are guiding them, a lot of realtors, a lot of salespeople, a lot that see that they're the really good ones know where that person wants to go. And their goal is to say, I'm going to help them see a path on how to get there that's going to be as easy as we can possibly make it. Now, there's not always a path. There are the times when it's like, hey, this isn't going to happen. But the really good ones out there really understand where this person's going to and can get into the emotional side of it with them. They get tied into this journey of like, I am now invested in getting to you to this life that you want to have and who you want to be, and the playground in the backyard with the kids swinging on the swings, and this vision that you have of the dad that you want to be. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're going to figure this out together. I'm going to help you get to that place. And all of a sudden, like, these people are on this ride with you that you are saying, here's where we're going to figure out how to get you there. And that's where I think in these marketplaces, we can sit back and wait for the answers to fall out of the trees to be like, oh, here, now they're going to come to me and say, Matt, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to take that step. Or we can be a proactive person in this with them. And I think what I have seen in my time of doing this and my time of helping people is that people want that. They like that. It's not salesy. You're not pressuring. It is when you can come in and help them. This is where you turn into that person that they want to tell their friends about. You did it for the right reasons. You're invested in them and their best life. Everything rises around you when you approach your clients with this type of mindset. And right now, again, these little things are coming here, but if we can put them all together and we can help our people get to where they want to go, this is an opportunity, right? I keep telling people, it's an incredible opportunity in this marketplace right now.
The opportunity is always there too, right? Particularly when you use the market information, what's going on in the market to help you have conversations with people. You know, to take a sidestep here, Garrett, everybody listening, you've experienced being pitched. You probably experience it almost every day in your inbox and things like that, or even on social media with the DMs and stuff like that. You probably have, if you're anywhere on Instagram, you're probably getting a DM from a social media marketer, editor person saying, hey, I can do this for you, right? And some you vibe with, some you don't. The ones that you vibe with probably are the ones who ask you a question, who learn a little bit about your goals. Because here's the thing, everybody has goals. Everybody has a vision bigger than where they're currently at. Now, occasionally you have some people who are like, I'm just okay with where I'm at. I don't want to go, right? But even when it comes to homes, I love my house. I still have the vision of like, what is the next house going to be? I'm not moving anytime soon. I mean, unless certain things happen. And that's everybody's scenario. Well, what are those unless certain things happen? Tell me more. And so when you get hit up by some of these people, which I get, and Garrett, we get, podcast requests, these thing requests.
Oh my
God. Do you
God.
want to grow? Do you want to scale your coaching business? Here we know I got all these things. The coaches, the mentors, the advisors that I hire in my world, and this is probably the same for you, are the people who take a moment to understand me, whether that's through their systems or processes, to then help craft an offer that is related to the goals I want to achieve, that gets me to go, that's interesting. I think this is a journey that I can go on. And Ryan Foreman, who is a lender out in California, he's in the Actually Agents Discord. He's a good friend of Luca Alberetti. And he was in Luca's Discord the other day, and someone was asking about leads and things. And Ryan had shared, well, this is how I get back to these people. And he's like, wow, that's a lot. That's detailed. You get on the phone with them. He's like, listen, this is a 5-figure commission check that we're dealing with here. Of course, I'm going to take the time to understand this person and get to know them a little bit, because if I can help them, there's a big payoff at the end for me here too. And why not take the time? And that was a great point. So why not take the time to truly understand your people? Because that's going to lead to value for them, and in turn, value back for you.
Well, and where I was going to add in, Matt, is that during times of confusion, and in marketplaces, there are some marketplaces that have more confusion. There's some that have less confusion. And when there's more confusion, this is when your opportunity for your value rises to the top. And this is where, when the market's easy, the answers are just coming to us. We can put deals together. This person wants to move here. I can make that work. Oh, you want to move there? Okay, I can make that work. When those roadblocks come up that make people pull the car over, as I was saying, and stop and be like, this is really confusing. There's a lot going on here. This is causing me uncomfortable energy. I'd rather not do this right now. this is when the professionals get a chance to come and say, I can still help you so you can continue to move. You don't have to stop. You don't have to put your life on hold. You don't have to freeze here for a little bit. Like, I can help you continue to this next path. I can be your guide to that next path. And so I love marketplaces like this. Like, when I look at the agents that I have watched that have gone from good agents to great agents, the ones that have gone from good businesses to amazing referral businesses, they were all grown out of the most confusing marketplaces you can ever ask for the consumer. When the consumer's walking around going, I don't know, and you have that chance to come in and say, I can help you, and you can, you are now a savior to them. You are now the person that you're like, I will never do real estate with anybody but Matt Benelli. You are my person going forward from here on. And by the way, let me tell my friends about you, because whoever they've got in their world isn't helping them out like I know you can. And I have the confidence in you to help them also. It's not the easy markets that generate this type of relationship. It's the messed up marketplaces with all the weird stuff going on. Unfortunately, we've got one right now. There's just enough weird stuff out there. And as you were talking about, voting time and presidential election time, like, it doesn't help. But you were right. The minute we get past it, everybody goes, oh, okay, that's what it is. Moving forward. Got to move forward with my life. It's just the lead up to it. Confusing.
Very confusing. And I think, you had said there, people talk about you too. And that's the big sustainability opportunity for your business is the more value you give to somebody, the whether or not they're going to buy or sell, they're going to tell other people about that experience if you provide that experience for them. And this is a practice, Garrett. This is something that, I had to learn this too, of like, I'm not just lead hunting, value hunting. I'm looking for opportunities to understand what value people need and see how I can share and deliver some level of value based on their needs. And if I can't, can I refer that to somebody else? Because that's also providing value to somebody. And confusing markets, people are looking for that knowledge expert for sure. And honestly, real estate is confusing in a way. It's simple. But it's also confusing for people. And I think it always will be. There are complications, cash, loan.
But also, Matt, usually when you're going through real estate, there is some usually level of high stress change that's going on in your life that's causing that real estate to happen. It's not usually just wouldn't it be fun like to go do this? Usually there's something in there that's like, okay, we need to make a change to reduce some stress levels in our life, to make our life move forward and better. Because right now, this situation isn't working. Because if it was, you'd stay there. If it was perfect and it was working and there was no stress levels, you would stay exactly where you're at and you wouldn't make a change. But if it's not fitting in with where you're going and your big dreams, because like, as you were talking about, like, I love my house and I love my house. I love my view. Could there be waves crashing in the backyard? Yeah. That would be pretty awesome
Pretty
to have
cool.
some oceanfront waves crashing in my, like, up to my back of my property. That might make me move.
Could there be more
Still love my
garage
house.
bays attached to the garage? Could there be heights to fit car lifts? And sometimes these things lead to other ideas around real estate. Well, maybe I don't need a new house. Maybe I need a second house, or maybe I need this type of property. And maybe it leads to, I would love that, but that's, not for me. And the people you're talking to have a limiting belief that may hold them where they are. That's fine, but they may still talk to other people about you as well. Real estate is a complicated industry because it's not as easy as other commodities, or any commodity for that matter. I don't like when people say real estate is a commodity market. We make it that way on the grand scale, but at the end of the day, every piece of real estate is very unique. And the value that one person places on it will be different than another. Even if it's off by $1, that's still a different level of value for that piece of real estate. And your mission as an advisor is to help your people who you're connected with get clarity so that they can levy their value on a piece of real estate or their own piece of real estate to understand what they want to do with it in their grand picture, right? Which is ultimately what your client did in helping to understand, here are all the components that go into what you want to do with real estate. Here's some things that maybe you haven't thought of, which got that person to say, oh, that's what I needed. Let's go ahead.
Well, and so this is where I'm hoping everybody goes with what we're sharing with you right now is that you have a good group of people that you have in your world and you talk with regularly. Hopefully, you are involved with them and asking them questions and learning about their life and where they want to go. There's a good group of them probably that have said, at some point, I might have a dream of living somewhere. I might want to have a different house. I might want to have more space. I might want to have a lift for my car so I can work on them. Might want to have the water, the either a lake or the ocean in the backyard. That might be what the dream looks like. Then it might be way simpler than that. It might be I want to be 5 miles closer into my office so I can come home and spend more time with my kids. Whatever it might be, we need to learn, what is this journey? What is this vision that these people have? And sit back and say, is there a way that I can help them get there and help them accomplish that? And we all have these lists, hot lists, warm lists of people that have come to us over time. And I want to encourage you right now, go take a look at that list. Sit down with those names and ask yourself, what can I be combining here and putting together and maybe re-engaging with them? Maybe they brought real estate up to me at one point in time, and I want to bring it back up to them and say, you mentioned this to me at one point. And one, I want to see, is that still important to you? Is that still something you want to do? And I might have some ideas if you're interested in talking about it. And if they're like, I could care less about that now, we're good. Good. That's fine. We don't need to dive down. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on why you should do it. But if they're like, you know what, that is still important to me. We still do. We would love to have the extra bedroom. We would love to have the extra space in the backyard. My kids have always wanted a dog, but I need a yard to be able to have a dog in. Like, well, let's talk about that. There might be a path for you here right now. And this is where I find real estate becomes really fun. It's not just about selling homes. It's not about getting the next sale. It's not about getting the next commission check. That is a byproduct of helping these people eliminate stress and have the best lives they can possibly have and have the dreams of their future that they want to have. And you get to be part of that journey. And then there's a whole nother thing, Matt, of then once we sell or we make that sale happen and we help these people get to that next place, continue on that part of the journey with them. Don't just be like, sale done, moving on to the next one. Like, you should be checking in on that new puppy in that backyard and continuing to celebrate what you helped them accomplish, because that is where the long-term amazing business can be built and results have been built for yourself and your clients.
Man, if you don't take anything away from this podcast except one thing, it is that question, is that still important to you? When you are reaching back out to people, what a great question. And then on the back end of that, Alex Ramosi says this: when you solve problems, you create another problem for people. It's just kind of the path of things, not good problems or bad problems, right? You solve a problem, there's another problem. You solve the problem for the house with the backyard and the dog, it maybe creates the other problem of like, well, what if we want two dogs? What if we want, now we need a bigger car for the dogs and we don't have the driveway. And that's very specific in that realm, that it could create problems that aren't related to real estate, but give you the opportunity to have further conversation with your people. So hunt for the value for people. You're there to help solve problems. And then where we started this, come back to, don't wait for the market to create these scenarios for your people or to try to solve a problem that serves people up to you. Use your own conversations and questions and your knowledge of the market to help identify the problems and solutions for people so that you can help people move even when the market, quote, is not ready.
Yeah. And again, as we're watching it here, right, Matt, there's opportunity all over the place for people to move forward and have the life. But again, just realize, high stress levels, high confusion. You'll watch people pull the car over to the side of the road and say, hey, not right now. And just realize they just can't see, the road in front of them. They can't see how to get there. And that's not a reason to completely stop forward momentum. It's just a reason to say, hey, do you want to talk about maybe what those roads and options might look like? So just have fun out there, help these people get to where they want to go. There's tons of opportunity, and have fun with your people.
There really is. So guys, get out there, talk to your people, have conversations. Here's one other thing too. If people say, well, we want to wait until after the election, which is only a few weeks away at this point, be like, great, awesome. What are you looking for to have happen with that to give you more certainty? Not like who are you looking to win, although they may share, and then you can have a conversation about that if you so choose. Just understand it so that then you can follow up with them after the election, because now supposedly that problem has been solved, which may have created another problem that's a roadblock, and you'll discover it through your line of questioning. So have fun with that. And guys, if you are finding value out of this and you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button and you hit the subscribe button and the little bell for the notifications, so you know that when we release new videos, they're here for you guys to watch and enjoy. And drop a comment on what is your biggest takeaway. What is a question that you are going to go ask somebody today to understand their situation a little bit better? And maybe what is an element of the marketplace that you know right now that should be shared with your people that you'd like them to know as well? And if you're listening on audio, we appreciate you guys so much. If you know of anybody else who might find value out of these podcasts, please do share it with them. We love doing this and we love sharing it. And I love hearing from people who are like, hey, I'm really enjoying the podcast. Awesome. If you guys could help us expand it by just sharing the audio with people, that helps us rank a little bit better. More people discover it, which allows us to continue on this mission of helping people live at the pinnacle of their ability and purpose. And of course, we do have our coaching program. If you guys do want to go beyond just the content that we share here, you can find that at lifeat10tenths.com. We have a membership opportunity. If you just want to join our Life at 10 Tenths membership, that's a small fee there. But if you want to get into coaching, that would be the 11 circle, and everything is spelled out for you there. So we appreciate you guys. Garrett, thanks for bringing this topic, man. A good one as always.
Matt, thanks for kicking around with me, and have an amazing day out there, everybody.
Take care, y'all.